Hey everyone, it's Nicole Atherton, and I'm back with another Project Life process video. This is week 28, which I'm almost caught up. I can't believe it. So you see, as I usually do, starting with the photos, moving them around, trying to see what makes the most sense based on what we did. This week, I am using the June Silver Lake Lodge documentary kit from Studio Calico. And I'm going to go through here and sort through the cards and see which ones I think will go with this week and ones that I don't want to use. I pulled out the number 7, the card with the number 7 on it. Usually if they include these in a kit, I use the B side. I just don't think of months in that way. I don't know. It seems weird to me, but this time I liked the circle element on it, and I knew I wanted to use that for my title card. So now I'm trying to figure out what the background paper is going to be, and also remembering that I have the July rubber piece. So the July rubber piece, at least to me, only works on that multicolor paper. So I'm going to save it. Now I'm busting out the add-on pack that is from the summer camp add-on. And I'm going through the die cut pieces, pulling out the ones that I think I might use, and so on. I did end up using the add-on paper that came with it, and that complements this particular add-on kit. There's a lot of die cuts in here. This is a pink Paislee item. And then usually what I do at the end when I'm finished, and I did this off camera, is on the back of the packaging, I scratch off the ones that I used so that when I go back to it and I look at the back and see if there's anything that I want to use, I know which ones are already gone. Here's some of the add-on papers that I'm going to be pulling in and trying to decide which one goes best with that number 7 card. And I decided to go with this really bright one, because we went to an art festival kind of, and it was a bright kind of summery color, and it's a little brighter than I usually do, but I was like, all right, let's just take a chance. So I did. Toyed for a minute with going with that paper, but I did not. And then this is the cut apart sheet. These are the add-on papers. One of the most awesome things about that add-on kit are those stickers, and you can't really tell because it's looking straight down, but the foam on them is hot pink, so you kind of get a hint of the hot pink poking out from the holographic letters, which is really cool. All right, going to cut out my title card. And I wanted to make sure to include that little dip in the stripes, but I also wanted to be able to see it. So I'm going to adhere this down, and my idea is to use these letters, which I love, and I'm going to wrap the word July around it, around the circle. You'll probably be able to tell about the hot pink in the still photos that are at the end of the video. Just fine-tuning the placement of all these letters and trimming off the edge of this card. Trying to figure out what I'm going to put on here next. Don't like any of these die cuts on here so far, so I'm going to abandon that and do something else. So now I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to put the dates. Do I want it there, and I finally decide on putting it in one of the stripes on the far right side. You'll see. I had to use Stays On ink, and I had to buy a new Stays On, but because the pattern paper itself has a little bit of a slickness to it, and so I needed to use the Stays On ink. Okay. I found this little seashell die cut piece, which I thought was cute. I just tucked it under the Y. And these letters are from the documenter kit, and there's a ton of them, so I know that I'm going to be able to make lots of words with them, which excites me because I always run out of letters. And I'm not good at playing word scramble, so I have a sticker sheet left over, and there's a bunch of weird letters with no vowels, and I don't know what to do with them. So anyway, lining up week 28 on the opposite side of the circle. Just fine-tuning this part now and getting all of the spacing where I want it, and done. Okay, pretty happy with how that turned out. Again, it's a little busy for me, but it captures the vibe that I was going for in this week. The beginning of the week was kind of slow, and then we went to Orange County and hung out with some friends and went to the pageant of the Masters. So artsy, summery kind of stuff going on. Next, I'm going to mat this photo onto one of the 3x4 cards for the bottom 4x6 card. I like the chillin' die cut piece, so I'm putting it on top of that yellow 3x4 card, and I'm going to be I'm just going through what they have and figuring out what I want to add to it to tie the two collections together. Definitely one of the unifying colors is this kind of orangey color. So you'll see it on this card that I'm cutting out here. It says "Oh Snap," and it has sort of that light coral color. So does the card on the right hand side of the page, and then also on the left, and then the title card. Writing down my journaling. The top of the card says "Around Here," and that's tying in some green. So there's green in the 7 card, there's green in this card, there's green on the other side in the salad or lettuce that's on top of my dinner. So colors moving across the spread. Adding the date and then the time. Wasn't the best picture of us, but I wanted to use it anyway. So I just stuck this Good Times die cut piece on top. I'll glue it down in a minute. And I just say moments like this fill my soul, and then I'm going to do the chillin' journaling card. You can't really tell, but there's little white pluses. So I'm going to use those as kind of natural journaling lines, and I'm adding a few more of the really small die cut pieces from this pack. It's a seashell and then a happy face that I'm going to adhere with a foam adhesive. All right, done with that. And next I wanted to do something with that bottom photo on the left. It's kind of boring, white and black. It's not a black and white photo. It's just boring. So I pulled out this stamp set. I can't remember what this was called, but it's, I think, One Little Bird and Studio Calico. So this says "Like a Boss," and I ended up stamping it out or punching it out, and then I decided that I already have a ton of white. Why don't I put it on some pattern paper? So I did that instead, and I grabbed the opposite side of the cut apart sheet, which has a bunch of seahorses on it. So it already goes with the themes, and I know it's a microphone and it's not talking about seahorses, but it goes along with the spread. So I went ahead and I punched it out. And I hope you guys have noticed like better audio quality, but this is the microphone that I got because I didn't like the echoey quality to the voiceovers that I was doing. So anyway, that's what it looks like. All right, adhering down good times, cutting off the end. And using these little sunglasses from the die cut piece on that hello card. I will complete that card in a second. I feel very unfocused this time. I keep getting distracted by the shiny stickers, I think. So I'm going to use them. I'm going to spell out Laguna because the pageant of the Masters is in Laguna Beach, and that's where we hung out on Saturday night. Just love these letters. And then while I had them out, I decided that I want to spell out the word taco because on the way home Sunday, we stopped and hung out with Tracy's parents for lunch. We went to Taco Surf. And I saw the door there, and I thought it was a really cool door, so I took a picture of it, which is what we do as scrapbookers, right? Okay, so I got my Taco Surf door, I got my letters, so I'm happy with the way that's going to turn out. And then I'm just going to be putting on some journaling. Obviously, I'm going to have to put it on another piece of paper. So I decided to go ahead and use the, oops, I'm changing my mind. I'm going to a different card. I'm moving things around. I decided to move things around because the top of that card that is now to the left of the wine bottle was too close to the color in the Oh Snap, but they can be on the same side of the page. I just didn't want them right next to each other. So I adhered down those sunglasses and had them hang off the edge a little bit, and I'm doing the rest of my journaling on this particular card. There's a subtle grid pattern on this card, so I did not underline it. And I'm choosing, now I'm going back to the taco card. I'm choosing a piece that I don't think I'm going to use as the cutout. So I'm not going to use Surf's Up because we don't surf. So this is where I'm going to write my journaling, and it matches the paper on the other side. So that pulls in that element. So there's that light blue on the left, on the right, and in the top title card. So then you have a little visual triangle that way. Stamping the date, which was Sunday. I'm also going to stamp the date on that journaling card as well. So as you probably noticed, I don't take photos, or I don't choose a photo from every day of the week. Sometimes I do that, but sometimes I just take multiple photos in one day, and I have 3 photos from Saturday and 1 from Sunday and 1 from Tuesday and 2 from Wednesday. Something like that. So I don't necessarily do everything. This is the stamp set that came with the Documenter kit, and it says Everyday Explorers, and I just stamped that underneath the 2017 and the little tiny camera, which is super cute. Completing my journaling. The pageant of the Masters was so cool. And it's hard to explain to somebody if you've never heard about it. So basically, they take these famous masterpieces, fine works of art, and they put them on a backdrop, and they dress people up like the people in the actual painting, and they don't breathe and they don't move, and it's just unveiled, and it's live people in a set acting out the art, and it's the coolest thing ever. I've never been. I'm definitely going to go again. It was so awesome. So you'll see that I have these 2 embellishment options. I have the enamel dots and then the asterisks. And just like I talked about last week, where I like to have several different layouts from the same kit, choosing my accessories, quote unquote, to make a different outfit this week versus next week. So I'm going to use the enamel dots this week, and then next week I'll probably use the asterisks and different letters so that it looks different, even though it's the same stuff. Kind of throwing those things around. I like enamel dots. They're fun and playful. These little flare buttons came in the Documenter kit as well. So I chose the yellow one because I needed some yellow over there. There's a yellow journaling card. There's yellow in my dinner. And then there's the yellow piece up there. This is a frame from the die cut pack. And this is not the best picture. And you can't take pictures during the performance, obviously. But this is the only picture I had of the stage and everything, and the program was blurry and there's people's heads in the way and stuff like that, but I wanted to use it anyway, so I'm going to cover up people's heads by using that ticket stamp set. That was the June subscription stamp set, and it says Weekend Getaway, and I just did it off camera because stamping is not exciting to watch. And I did not move it over enough. Okay. I'm going to put this on some foam adhesive to give it a little dimension. I have several dimensional elements in this week's spread, so carrying that theme through. These little hearts, cork hearts, came in the summer camp add-on collection from Studio Calico for July. And then adding an enamel dot there as well. And I left 2 of the photos unembellished, which is fine. I think they look okay. And then I'm just going to add a couple of more cork hearts to tie everything together. So I'm going to put a cork heart in the O of taco, and then I'm going to put another one on that picture of us, and then we'll create a little triangle, which is a subtle one because you can't really tell, but there's enough other things going on to unify everything. Again, it's a little bit busier than my usual, but it's very bright and summery, which I like. It's also very artistic, I feel, especially with that title card, which captures the mood that I wanted to express with the layout for the week. So I'm so grateful that you guys came and checked everything out. Super appreciative of all my subscribers. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And please, if you want to subscribe so that you get updates when I have a new video, please click the button. Until next time, I hope you guys have a great day and happy crafting. We'll see you later.